Hello, Hero Collectors here. How's it going, everybody? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. I know I am. And today, let's unbox this Marvel's Kaine figure from the recent 2025 Spider-Man Retro Carded Wave. You can see him on the card. You can see all the other figures in the wave. You'll see that I have Spider-Boy and Chameleon in hand as well. I also have the Agent Venom in my pile of loot, but I just don't have Spider-Man Unlimited or Electro. I picked this up at a GameStop out of town, but let's waste no more time and actually crack open the figure. Ugh. And there, that corner, and make sure that doesn't fall out. But getting him out on the tray, here we have Kaine. So his only real accessories are these hands are just kind of open, which I do like, because while I don't know much about 90s Kaine, I do know the open hands would be great to do like a mark of Kaine. So got those to mess around with. But yeah, let's get the figure all stood up. And here he is. And yeah, like I said, I'm not super familiar with this version of Kaine. I'm more familiar with his Scarlet Spider era, but I still think this is a cool design, and I know I eventually want to actually read the 90s Spider-Man comics to know the context for everything. I know the Clone Saga is not considered very great, but still, I would like to read it just for my sake. So let's go ahead and break in the articulation real quick. And can't get a lot of range there with the hair. Shoulders, he's got some good butterflies there. Bicep swivel. I like that all of this blue detail is actually raised sculpt. It's not just paint. There. Decent ab crunch. We swivel. Biceps. And these spiky bits, they're actually kind of rubbery, so they're not as sharp on the figure. So when you go to move, you're not going to actually hurt yourself. Hips can go out that far. Nice. So far, so good. Weather's kind of warmed up over here, so even though he was in the car and kind of in the cold for a bit, it's not as bad to get him going. And I'm not afraid that I'm going to break anything necessarily until I go to the ankles, apparently. But there, I don't want to push those too much, but so far everything is turning out pretty good. Cool. It's a very bright costume. Very bright indeed. This pink. It's almost like a, not quite a neon, but that kind of like effect for the pink. It's all draped in the wind. So the hands worked in really quick. And while I've got him here, let's go ahead and do a few comparisons. So here he is next to his brothers. We have the original Peter Parker, and we have Scarlet Spider. And he is about the same height as Pete, I'd say. Well, I guess these are both on the same body. So yeah, he's about the same height as both Pete and Scarlet Spider if you forget about the hair sticking out above his head. It's pretty cool. And then for just a Scarlet Spider comparison, here is what he eventually becomes when he's not, falling apart because he's a clone. He's fixed and eventually dons this costume and calls himself Scarlet Spider. And I would say he's not much taller. I think it's just the hair. So that looks pretty cool together. Again, this is my kind of era of Kaine. I only really know him as Scarlet Spider, and I've read, I want to say at least an arc or two of his comic, his solo run, but yeah, looking pretty cool there. And then we've got the other two figures I have in this wave so far. We've got Spider-Boy and Chameleon. Two very different kind of eras, I guess. This is from the modern era, and this is from a cartoon, so this is 90s comics, so I mean, all very different styles, but of course, in this action figure line, they all blend together and look good together, so that's pretty cool. Now, let's just see what he can do for fun. let's get him into a pose and see if I can get like the mark of Kaine going. All right, there is that hand. And we've got, put that kind of behind him, have the cape wafting. There. Bit of that. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Not perfect. Maybe needs a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I think this arm needs a bit more movement up. This stiff cape. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, the cape rather stiff, so it's going to limit that and potentially pop off the head. Let's see if we can get into a crouch kind of brooding pose. Like he's sitting up with a gargoyle. And just got his internal monologue of what his life has become because of the jackal. There. Get that. That's not too bad. Kind of overlooking a city. Just, the city is so dark. And it's the 90s, so I must look cool in the dark. I don't know. But it looks fun. I like this figure. Again, I don't know much about this era of Kaine, but this figure so far is fun. I can't wait to actually post him up and have him fighting against Ben Reilly and Pete, and maybe throw in some other, like, army builders for him to fight, like the Tracksuit Mafia. Those would be fun to pose him with. So yeah, not a bad figure. Just, these are kind of my initial impressions, and I'm liking him so far. He's looking pretty good. I'll eventually do a proper review, probably with Spider-Boy and Chameleon all together, so look forward to that on the channel. Make sure you like this video, make sure you comment down below what you think of this figure, and make sure you subscribe, because of course, like I said, I will do a review of this guy in due time. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all in another video, another post, another time.